How's it going, Outlaws? I'm here waiting in line to get my pass for Sakura-Con. Up to that elevator right there. Can you give a shout out to my Outlaws?
Hi, I'm Christina B, but I hope to meet you soon. Bye.
David Vincent, the voice of Sandcast from Kill la Kill. Put me on, put me on, put me on!
Hey, Brian, this is Kari Wahlgren, the voice of Haruko. I hear you're working the graveyard shift, man. You're supposed to be here meeting me. All right, if you gotta work, you gotta work. I get it. Kitty, meow.
Can you tell my Outlaws what improv's all about?
Improv actually is life. It's just an improv. There is one rule, and that is say yes and. Now that we have established that as the rule and everybody kind of goes with the flow, since we don't all know each other, I usually have a rule that's like, don't touch anybody or put anybody in an awkward position. This is like a G-rated, PG-rated improv session, so don't put anybody in an uncomfortable situation and violate the safe space arena. I started doing improv years ago because I was incredibly shy and I hated the idea of doing anything unscripted. If I had a script, I was safe because I knew what I was going to say, what the other person was going to say, and I had all of the answers, and I was never going to be in that uncomfortable situation that sometimes we're in life where we have to put our foot in our mouth because we say something we shouldn't have said and we feel like we want the floor to open up and swallow us whole. And I was like, well, if I take improv, that will never happen to me. And it happened regularly. And then I joined an improv troupe, and we traveled around the southern part of the US, and we were doing shows where we got paid like a whole $20 that we split between 5 of us. I know. We literally, you guys joke, the first show that we got paid for, we got $20, and all 5 of us were like, we're going to 7-Eleven. And we celebrated. Improv. I hated getting told that I was wrong, or that whole moment where everything turns white. We turn white as a sheet and we're like, I don't know what to say. The whole point of my panel is for you to feel like when you have that moment, you trust whatever first pops into your mind, even if all you can say is, I really want pancakes, or blueberries are really cool. That's fine, even if it doesn't make any sense. That's what improv is all about, is trusting your gut instincts, and whatever comes up is the right answer. You just channel your inner Gandalf of wisdom, or Dumbledore, whichever magical wizard you align with most. There are no wrong answers for any of these scenarios. It's going to be very awkward. We're all going to do a group warm-up. I'm not going to call on anybody and make you come up here. It's all volunteer basis. But if you're here, terrified out of your mind, I challenge you to come up and at least do one game to know that life is not so scary. And just say yes to the scene, just like you should say yes to life. We spend a lot of our time saying no to protect ourselves from horrible things that may happen, and we miss out on a lot of fun, cool things that we could do because we're scared. So that is what improv has helped me with. Improv was totally instrumental when I worked on Borderlands 2. Anthony Birch created a wonderful character of Gage and said, look, I've kind of created a skeleton of this character, but we liked your audition. We thought you sounded really quirky and weird, so please improvise. So he gave me the echo logs, And that is a lot of me improvising on the fly in a very weird monologue sort of way, and they kept all of it. And I would never have been able to do that had I not taken improv. So I'm gonna have all of you guys stand up for this. Okay.
Hey, Kari, so what live action movies have you done, and what's the most famous celebrity you've ever worked with?
Oh gosh, well, live action movies. I haven't done a lot of movies, to be honest, but I did one called Neverland, and that's where I met Will Wheaton. We became friends, and it was before he kind of re-exploded on the scene and stuff like that. And I met he and his wife on that. His wife did my hair and makeup, and it was kind of like a modern retelling of Peter Pan, and I played a drugged out Tinkerbell. And it was such a fun experience, and it was great to meet them on that. As far as, I think I've worked with more big celebrities on the voiceover side of things. Alfred Molina, I've done some stuff with him, J.K. Simmons,
Ooh, nice.
Eliza Dushku, Scott Wolf. We did a whole series together. Some people like that. So it's great. It's been cool.
Out of all the characters, what's your best character you voiced, and what villains have you voiced before?
Best character. Well, I don't know. I think that's up to the opinion of the viewers. I don't know. Let me see if I can make that answer a little more specific. I don't know. I mean, best. I don't know that. I don't know.
Or top 5 works, I guess. Top 5 can.
Well, I don't even want to say, oh, my best roles. That feels weird to me. I guess the ones that took me out of myself the most. Is that it?
Sure, that works.
Okay. I loved voicing Tommaso in a show called Puzzle and Dragons. I'd never voiced a mascot character before, and it was one of the few shows that we've done that kids could watch it. So that was exciting. And that's just an entire, pandering to children is an entirely different genre of voice acting, so everything can be much bigger and broader, and it's always really, really fun. And we had we worked on that show for 9 months because there were so many episodes. We literally made a baby because it was 9 months. And he just grew, and my director was she was so perfect for that situation, and we had so much fun collaborating on all of that. And he just brought me so much joy, and I just loved it so much. And let's see, another one that I'm proud of was Raina in Real Life. I was going through if you guys like slice of life shows, I highly recommend that one. If you've ever struggled with depression or anxiety or not knowing who you are or wishing you could go back and do it all over again in high school, it's such a cathartic show for that type of thing. And not to get too personal, but I was going through a really rough time when we recorded that show. And so to come in and play a character who was struggling with depression, but struggling with depression in a different way than I was at the time was extremely, I could just go, her depression was taking the form of trying to push everybody away, and I don't need anybody, and I'm angry, and I'm so angry that you even want to help me, it's so condescending, and just everything was just so anger, and her friends just never give up on her, no matter how awful she is to them, they never give up on her. And so I just got to go to work and just have this very cathartic experience of yelling and crying, getting all this totally unrelated gunk out of my system. I was also really proud of Kaguri in Steins Gate Zero. I was so happy to be a part of that franchise because there's some people that I love dearly that were in the first season and the second season. And I had heard what a wonderful show it was, and it's very, very special. We don't get shows like that very often. And so getting to play Kaguri was also very cathartic. I get these roles that are very cathartic at very appropriate times in my life, and I'm so happy. She was one of them, and she helped me through another rough patch. I've been upset in the booth, and I felt extreme emotional distress in the booth, But that was the first time I've ever like broken down sobbing, like uncontrollable sobbing. And so much so that the director was like, we're gonna take a break. Me and the engineer are gonna leave you alone. You're gonna sit in the booth for a little bit and I'll knock on the door in 10 minutes. And they just left me in there, because you cut it off, the scene's over, and you can't just cut that off, I mean, like, nobody could just go, I'm fine. Like if you're really feeling something, you can't just like cut it off. Even if someone like walks in on you crying and you don't want them to see you, you're like, what? I wasn't crying. Like, you can't just run. And so I had to sit in there and like be like, oh God, I gotta get this out now. Thank you guys for leaving me alone. So that was intense. Villains, I guess Kurumi Tokisaki from Data Life. Is she considered a villain? I don't know. She's kind of like chaotic. Bye, cat. What is that? Chaotic evil or chaotic neutral? Maybe I don't know where she ranks on that chart. She's really fun. God, I love playing her. She's so much fun. What other villains? Or at least dark characters? I mean, spoilers. My character in Gare Zero is a villain for a time. There's a whole convoluted thing going on with that. Very M. Night Shyamalan-esque. What other shows have I done villains? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. Help me out, people that know my shows. Oh yeah, I guess she was kind of like a, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Chisato and Magical Girl Spec Ops, Asuka. I hate these long titles. It's better than the show I directed a few years ago called What Are You Doing at the End of the World? Are you busy? Will you save us? I'm like, I'm not writing that on conscience. We're gonna say World End. That's what we're gonna call it, guys. Like, we're not doing that. Yeah, Chisato, and I love like the misled, like she was a villain unintentionally, like, which I always think is interesting. She's like, I didn't even know I was working for the bad guys. Whoops. I just know that someone gave me magic and I need to hurt people. Let's see. Yeah, really the villains I played have had some kind of like redemption arc. So I don't know, they don't really seem like villains, but they're always really, really, really fun. I like playing characters like that. Which one? Oh yeah, CP9 was villainous. Fukuro. He was so weird. Oh my God. Mike McFarland, I was at work, and when he was directing One Piece, and all of a sudden I'm like going to someone else and going down this hallway of studios, and he comes out of his booth and he goes, hey, do you have a minute? It's like, yeah. What do you need? What's up, bro? And so he pulls me in and he goes, okay, this is really weird. I want to cast you as this role, but I also don't know what I'm looking for, so can we do like a really informal last-second audition, like right now? I was like, okay. We don't do that, but okay. And so he shows me this picture of Fukuro from One Piece, which looks like a giant, like, garbage pail kid. And like, have you seen this guy? Like, hang on. Okay, so I go in there, and he shows me, I don't know if you guys can see this. He shows me this dapper sir. And I'm like, what is that? You want a woman to voice that? I don't understand. And he's like, 10 feet taller than everyone else. And he goes, yeah, just listen to it in Japanese. It's definitely a woman voicing him in Japanese, so I just don't know. So he plays this character for me, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, just get in the booth, I wanna record you saying some lines. And I was like, okay. It was the weirdest thing ever. And so, he speaks in this like weird, like, it's like, right, they all have like vocal quirks in CP9. So there's like a kabuki guy that always goes, yo, and then he goes, like all the time. But I got to fight Patrick Seitz, which was really awesome. And then we got to do a commentary together. And it was really awesome, because I love him. But yeah, so that was weird. Anyway, we're excited.
And with that being said, job's done.